Have you been fighting the sugar monster lately? I don't know about you, but I've been hearing a ton from my clients, friends, family, everybody lately with this COVID pandemic and being shut home. Everybody's craving more carbs, more sugar, more sweets, more desserts. Even my family, we had a few episodes where we were like, let's do dessert. I very rarely do dessert. And in fact, for the picture that I did to go with this video, I had a really hard time finding a carb or a sugary thing in my house because I basically live a fairly keto, keto to paleo lifestyle, and I just don't eat a lot of that junk. But I will say this is, at Father's Day, we had some ice cream with homemade chocolate sauce that was keto, but still, it's ice cream. Do you ever feel like you're craving more sugar lately? And you ever wonder why that actually is? Even alcohol or excess amounts of certain things can be too much sugar in your system. And there's a reason why you actually crave sugar, and no, not just the chemical reason. So if you're struggling with sugar addictions right now, make sure you stick around and watch this video and discover exactly the real reason why you are addicted or craving sugar all the time. And remember, if you want to transform your whole health and life in the best possible way, make sure you ring that bell, subscribe, and stick around, because every Tuesday I put out a new video which is based on my 35 plus years of experience in the health and wellness industry. You know, in all the years that I've been in the health and wellness industry, the one thing I see the most is people having trouble letting go of sugar. And it's sneaky. It can be really devastating to our health, and we don't even know it. And most of the time, we look at it as a food. But it's not a food. It really is a drug. And, it's just as addictive as crack cocaine is. It really is. If you've ever decided to stop eating sugar all of a sudden, and you start working towards that, and you realize within a couple of days how quickly you really are addicted to sugar and how horrible you feel trying to get off of sugar, it really is a drug. It is not a food at all, and it's really not healthy for us whatsoever. And not just on a physical level. There is a greater reason why we're all addicted to sugar, and I'm going to share that with you today. So the sad thing is that we really are addicted to sugar, and we utilize it on a day-to-day basis. And sadly, we really don't require the amount of sugar that we put in our bodies every day. I mean, a can of pop, I'm sure you've all seen this on Facebook or Instagram or whatever. Lots of people have shared this. How much sugar is actually in just one can of pop. It's crazy. It's like a mountain. And we're pumping this into our body, and we really don't need it. And it creates so many other problems. Did you know that the brain really only needs 25 grams of sugar a day to function at its optimum? That's like the amount of sugar that's in one banana. Yet we eat way more than that every day. So we are overloading our system with a drug that it doesn't know how to deal with. And why are we doing that? Besides the chemical reactions with your organs that triggers you to want more, like when your thyroid gets stimulated by too much carbs, it wants more carbs, because sugar is like this high and low crazy roller coaster, right? You eat it and it brings you up, and then it slowly crashes because it's not a sustainable energy. It goes in and you utilize it and it crashes, so you got to put more in so that it goes back up, and then it goes. This is how we see it physically. But what is it doing to us on a bigger scale, on a more mental, emotional, or soul spiritual level? Have you ever thought about that? Well, I hadn't actually until I really got into taking this course years and years ago to become a practitioner. And one of the things I learned is that our blood is the carrier of our sense of self, our ontic organization, as we call it. If you think about it, everything that you take in, whether you ingest something or you breathe it in, because your lungs go right to your capillaries, which whatever you breathe in goes into your blood system. Everything you eat gets absorbed, digested, and then put out into the blood system, which then goes off. Everything you think and feel chemically reacts within your body to make your actions and reactions. This goes through the blood system. Every chemical reaction flows through your blood system. Your blood is the carrier of all that you are right now. It's kind of a crazy thought. And so this blood system, which is the carrier of yourself, is also what keeps you feeling the way you feel, which then triggers your thoughts, and it's this vicious circle. When you're eating sugar, you get this boost of feeling good, don't you? Most of us do. When you eat something that's sweet, it makes you feel good. Oh, it's yummy. Everybody loves sugar. It makes you feel good. But what is it really making you feel good about? Because it's not really good for your body overall in general, and it creates inflammation and pain and stresses out your organs, yet it makes us feel good. Well, what's feeling good? It's really what we call the ego structure. So, and I'll go into this in another video, there's a difference between your true sense of self, your authentic being, your unique soul spiritual authentic being, or this ego structure which we utilize to make our life function in this crazy world. And your ego loves to be boosted. We all know this. If you've ever heard or anything about the ego structure or egotistical people, the ego loves to be stroked and boosted up and, oh, you're so wonderful, you're so great, I'm so good at this, look at me, look at me. That actually is the ego talking. When it does that, when you feel like you have to jump into a conversation to prove your worth, that's the ego. I'll get into that in another video. But the ego likes to feel good. So the reason we crave sugar, not just for the chemical reaction of it, but also because it boosts and stimulates and strokes that false sense of self. It helps us to feel better about ourselves momentarily than we actually probably feel. Think about it. Every time you feel crappy or unhappy or miserable or angry or upset, what do? You reach for that sugary treat. You want to feel better. When we all crave something, we generally crave sweet things. Yeah, sometimes we crave salty, crunchy things. That's a whole different other state. I'll do that in another video. But when you're craving a sweet thing, most people crave sweet things when they're emotionally out of balance. Comment in the links below. When you feel emotionally out of whack, what do you reach for? Is it sugar or is it something else? I'd like to know. And most of the time, it really is sugar. I know it certainly is for me and most of the people around me. It's what boosts us up. Sugar does give you a lift. We know it does that. Yeah, you're going to crash later, but it does give you a big high for a period of time. And did you know that actually protein sources can actually turn to sugar too? Again, until I really started cleaning up my diet, in my journey to get healthier, I didn't realize that actually protein has a glycation process. So if you eat too much protein, it turns to sugar too. We often think that, if I just stick to vegetables and proteins and my healthy fats, that's a good balanced diet, but it's not. And I get this all the time, and pay attention to the next time you have a meal, you sit down to eat. If you eat too much of something that's over sugary, and then you crave still something sweet after dinner, it's because you ate too much of something that triggered a change of sugar in your body, and that can be the protein. I used to think that, if I'm still hungry after dinner, well, I'll just reach for nuts. Wrong, because and of course it would satisfy me. Absolutely it would. I'd eat a whole whack of nuts, which is way too much to begin with, but it was adding all that sugar back into my system that I was really craving to make me feel better about myself. It wasn't until I completely narrowed and cleaned everything down for about 7 to 14 days that I can get off of that kick, and then I don't crave at all. it's getting clean and healthy within not just soul spirit, but in physical as well, can get us off that sugar kick and back into a healthy, more balanced place for yourself. Again, if you don't know me by now, one thing I always talk about is taking responsibility for your health, doing your own due diligence, and that if that's boosting up your own true sense of self so that you can let go of the false ego and the need for this false boost with sugar, then that's what you maybe need to do right now. And I have some great kits below, so make sure you check out the links below to find the best kit for you. And it could be the cleansing kit, it could be a detox kit. Maybe you need that right now. If you're really, really stuck on carbs, it has some great ways to get you eliminating all of that stuff so you can get a healthier start. Or just the Jumpstart Kit. The Jumpstart Kit is always my go-to for people who've never used the IOMA system before. It covers everything. In fact, it has a craving remedy in there. And believe it or not, again, it's not just about the physical cravings, it's about the cravings that go on up here. Because we all know when you're craving something, it's not really that your body physically needs it. It's really coming from here. And that's what has to be fixed. And as well with those kits, it really helps to support those specific organs that tend to lean towards cravings, which is your thyroid and your pancreas. And did you know that each organ in your body, not just the thyroid, the pancreas, but every organ in your body tells us something about the state of health that you're in. Each organ is a representation of a greater whole. And I'll get into those in further videos. But for now, remember that everything you think and feel affects how you're going to act and react in life. And it's going to cross that blood barrier and create a place where either you crave a stimulant to boost your false sense, or it just feeds you all in the right way, soul, spiritual, and physical. So really think about that this week. Every time you go to eat something, are you eating it because it's truly what your body requires and it makes you feel amazing and stable and you don't need any more? Or are you craving more? If you're craving more, is it really physical or is it mentally emotional? I'd like to know. Comment below. And remember, if you like this video, which I hope you did, please hit that like button. I'd really appreciate it. And don't forget to ring the bell, subscribe, and stick around for all the next videos coming up, because I'll be going deeper into more authentic self stuff. And you don't want to miss that. And to help you out with the rest of this, make sure you go over here and watch these other videos I did on really the whole digestive system and how it functions and how it affects your thoughts and your emotions. But until next week, remember, be authentic, be empowered, and own it completely.